Hi, kids. Welcome to All About Cowboys. I'm Jeff. This is Jigs and Dakota. We have a great show for you. We'll visit a rodeo, learn how to tame a wild horse, see a world-class trick roper, amazing trick riders, meet a 7-year-old cowboy and his pony Mabel, and take a ride on the Union Pacific Challenger, plus a whole lot more. So let's get started. As always, we open with a song. Good boy.
Saddle up your horses, roundup time is near. Saddle in for a nice long ride, and this is what you'll hear. All about cowboys riding on the range. All about cowboys and how they have changed. Riding, roping, rodeo, let's hit the trail, come on, let's go. All about cowboys and cowgirls too. Riding, roping, rodeo, let's hit the trail, come on, let's go. All about cowboys and cowgirls too.
I'd like you to meet Rattlesnake Jake. Rattlesnake is a cowboy and is an expert on the Old West. I know cowboys take care of cows, but Rattlesnake, how did all those cows get here in the first place?
Cortez brought all those cattle over here in about the 16th century. He brought them into places like Old Mexico, and from there they migrated on up into Texas and Arizona and that country over there. And he brought folks with him to look after those cattle, to kind of tend to them. And those folks were called the vaqueros. And the vaqueros were probably the most early day cowboys because they knew how to deal with these critters. Over the next couple hundred years, quite a few of them slipped away and they become wild critters. And a few guys got the idea that if they got all those wild critters gathered up, we could do something with them. So what they figured was what they was trying to gather up was cows, and what they needed to do it was boys and men. Well, it so happens that there was more boys available to do that job than there were men. And I think, to be real honest about it, most of the men thought, you know, I don't really think I want to fool with those wild critters out there. So we had these boys, started out 12, 13, 14 on up, all do it for work, they said. That's where the term cowboys came from, and that's from whence forth came the cowboy.
Cheyenne is the capital of Wyoming and the home of the world's largest rodeo and Western celebration, the Cheyenne Frontier Days Rodeo. A parade in the morning kicks off the day's festivities. And in the afternoon, there's the granddaddy of all rodeos, the bull riding, calf roping, wild bronc busting Cheyenne Frontier Days Rodeo. Cowboys come from all over to compete with each other to see who's the best.
The bull with Jake Carl and Jake Coach Shaky. How about it? Over range, you know, Steve?
One of the events is calf roping. The idea is to rope a calf while riding fast, stop the calf, jump off your horse, throw the calf on the ground, and tie any 3 of its legs, and the legs have to stay tied for 6 seconds. The cowboy who can do all this in the shortest time wins. Then there's bronc riding, both with a saddle and bareback. A cowboy tries to stay on a bucking, twisting, highly annoyed horse and look good doing it for at least 8 seconds. There's a saying around rodeos that's become part of the cowboy lore. They say, cowboy up. It means when you get thrown, you get up. You get back on. You keep going hard. You don't give up. You get tough and keep trying your best. You give it all you've got and you have fun.
Say if a cowboy is at a rodeo where there's 2 rounds and he has to ride twice, and the first time he gets hurt, gets kicked or stepped on, and he's kind of feeling like he doesn't want to get on, somebody might tell him to cowboy up and get on, and go for it. And if that's what it means, you know, if you're hurt or something, just cowboy up and kind of suck it up and bite your lip and go out there and give it all you got, no matter if you're playing football or soccer or basketball or baseball. If someone tells you to go out there and cowboy up, it means to give it all you got.
I think we all could use a little of the cowboy up philosophy. And then there's bull riding, the most exciting and dangerous of all rodeo events. Intrepid cowboys try to ride a 1,500-pound bull for 8 seconds, while the 1,500-pound bull tries to buck, jump, twist, and bounce the cowboy off its back. When the cowboy hits the ground, the bull tries to stomp him or hook him with his horns. That's where the rodeo clowns come in. The rodeo clown's job is to distract the bull and take his attention away from the cowboy. It's very dangerous being a clown in a rodeo. It's very dangerous being a cowboy too. About 11,000 spectators come to Cheyenne Frontier Days each day to watch cowboys and cowgirls compete for cash prizes. In the early days of the cowboy, there were contests held every year at the roundups. Cowboys would compete with each other in riding, roping, and other cowboy skills. Today, we keep that tradition alive through rodeos.
I'm a Bronco rider, just wandering round. I break wild Broncos from town to town. I win first prize at the rodeo. My home sweet home is on a bucking Bronco. I'm a Bronco rider, just wandering round. But I want to find that sweetheart mine and settle down. I'm getting lonesome for the old hometown. So I want to find that sweetheart mine and settle down. I've had my lasso on many wild steers. I'd like to rope me some pretty little deer, one that will love me with all of her heart. We'll settle down and never part. I'm a Bronco rider, just wandering round, but I want to find that sweetheart mine and settle down. I'm getting lonesome for the old hometown, so I want to find that sweetheart mine and settle down. All of you maidens, if you want a good man, I'll deal my cards, you can play your hand. If you brew a winner, I'll lay mine down, and we'll get married, never roam around. I'm a Bronco rider, just wandering round, but I want to find that sweetheart mine and settle down. I'm getting lonesome for the old hometown, so I want to find that sweetheart mine and settle down.
In the early 1800s, there were 2 million wild horses roaming the open plains. Known as Mustangs and Broncos, these were fine horses. But to be useful, they had to be tamed. That's where the Bronco Buster came in. His job was to stay on the wild horse who did all he could to buck him off, until the horse was too exhausted to try to buck him off anymore. Once the horse learned it was useless to buck, he would settle down and eventually accept the rider. This was called breaking a horse. Today, the way you break a wild horse has changed. No more Bronco Busters. Nowadays, cowboys go slow and use psychology. It takes skill, patience, experience, and courage to be a good horse trainer. We're at Big Creek Ranch. Steve's job is to break Toby, a 2-year-old. Toby has been roaming free since he was a colt. After getting Toby in the corral, Steve enters cautiously. Toby doesn't like being cooped up. And he doesn't like Steve coming so close either.
You put them in the round pen, you turn them loose, and they're traveling around. And the first thing you do is get them to where they can accept you in the round corral with them and be comfortable with that. And then they have a flight zone. Each horse is different. Once you cross the flight zone line, they'll leave. And it's the same way working a cow or with people too. You can't crowd them too much. But you keep bumping the edge all the time and trying to narrow it down and trying to get the horse to accept you and be confident with you there. And then pretty soon your confidence transfers over to the horse, and they know that you're not a danger or threat to them, and they'll accept the direction you want to take them, and they'll follow you willingly. But that's a long process, and it's one that's never really completely over.
Toby lets Steve put the halter on. This is a good sign. It means Toby has accepted Steve. Now for the moment of truth. Steve is going to put a saddle on Toby. No wild horse likes a saddle. So Toby does what any good wild horse would do. He tries to buck the saddle off. But after a while, Toby realizes it's useless. And besides, running around and bucking is tiring. Steve will just sort of ease up. This is a critical point. And it looks like Steve has won Toby over. Toby is accepting him. Mark uses the stick to keep Toby's attention. This is an important day in Toby's life. If everything goes well, it will be a good foundation to build on. It's like our first day at school. If we have fun and nothing bad happens, we learn to like school. Steve will have to go through this whole process again and again, but each day it will go a little quicker until Toby feels confident nothing bad is going to happen. Eventually, he will accept Steve as his rider and will become a good workhorse for Big Creek Ranch. But, like most good things, it doesn't come easy.
There were a lot of tools used with working cattle and horses and later on sheep as far as that goes. One of the tools that was used was the bullwhip. It was used mostly for the sound. And if we wanted that lead steer to go to the right, we'd pop that whip over on the left side of him, and naturally he'd move away from that sound. That's what kept him going. We never hit the animal with it. Whips are made out of mostly leather. The reason the whip makes the noise, you get down here into, this is the fall part of it here, and then this is called the popper. This rascal here is going between 700 and 900 miles an hour. It's creating a small sonic boom. When it goes through the air, that's what makes the noise. It's not hitting a thing.
It was fun learning to crack the bullwhip, but it wasn't much fun when Rattlesnake got the bright idea to use his bullwhip to snap a popsicle stick out of my mouth.
Hey, Asher, take that popsicle stick and put that in Jeff's mouth, and then I want Jeff to stand kind of sideways to me. Perfect. Now, it's been a while. It's been some time since I've done this. Boy, I can't hardly see that popsicle stick. You know what? Let me put my glasses on just to be on the safe side, because don't want no wrecks today, you know. You know what? I better clean these glasses off a little bit, I think. Much better. Okay. Where'd you go? Where did you? Where?
Right over here, Rattlesnake. Right there. You got it?
Oh, yeah, now I see him. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Okay, now you hold, quit shaking. I mean, quit moving around now, because This could hurt you a whole lot more than it hurts me if we're not careful. Oh, there he is, okay. All right, I think I'm ready now. Here we go, are you ready? Here we go. Hey, Jeff, get Asher to hold something in his teeth there. I know I can get a lot closer than that. Where are you going? Come back here. Come on back, let's try this again.
For about 100 years before the railroad, stagecoaches were the main means of transportation in the Old West. These four-wheel wooden coaches were named stagecoaches because they made their journeys in stages, often making stops to change horses and refresh the passengers. It was a bumpy ride, hot in the summer and cold in the winter. On a good day, a stagecoach might travel 40 or 50 miles in 15 hours. A large coach might carry 12 or more passengers, but most were smaller, carrying about 6 passengers. Stagecoaches also carried freight and the mail to frontier settlements. I'll bet all those people couldn't wait for passenger trains and automobiles to be invented. We're riding in the stagecoach at Wyoming Territorial Park. They keep telling us to wave.
Come on, kids, wave.
Come on, everyone wave.
See what I mean? These are black Percheron draft horses. They are used to pull heavy wagons because they are bigger and stronger than the horses cowboys use to work cattle.
Come on, boy. Giddy up, giddy up.
In the Old West, people probably thought riding on a wagon was drudgery. But things changed. Today, we think it's fun.
Will you come with me, my Phyllis dear, to yon blue mountain free, where blossoms smell the sweetest? Come roll along with me. It's every Sunday morning when I am by your side. Let's jump into the wagon and we'll all take a ride. Wait for the wagon, wait for the wagon, wait for the wagon and we'll all take a ride. Wait for the wagon, wait for the wagon, wait for the wagon and we'll all take a ride. Where the river runs like silver and birds they sing so sweet, I have a cabin, Phyllis, and something good to eat. Come listen to my story, it will relieve my heart. Let's jump into the wagon and let's begin to start. Wait for the wagon, wait for the wagon, wait for the wagon and we'll all take a ride. Wait for the wagon, wait for the wagon, wait for the wagon and we'll all take a ride.
Railroads were important to the development of the West. Towns sprung up almost overnight at places where the railroads decided to build a terminal. The railroads were important to cowboys too, because that's how cattle were taken east to market. We're in Cheyenne, Wyoming, home of the Union Pacific's Challenger, the largest operating steam locomotive in the world. It's early in the morning, and the 4664 articulated Challenger is being fired up to head an 18-car excursion train to Laramie, about 45 miles to the west. The Challenger was built in 1943 to provide the Union Pacific with the steam power needed to pull long passenger trains over the Sherman Hill and on into Cheyenne. The town of Sherman, located about halfway between Cheyenne and Laramie, is at the peak of Sherman Hill. In the late 1800s, Sherman was a bustling rail center. But Sherman was abandoned long ago. Now all that remains is this 40-foot-tall Ames Monument, erected to honor Oakes and Oliver Ames, both good men who contributed mightily to our nation's first transcontinental railway. Standing on this windswept plain, the monument is a lonely sentinel, standing guard over the glory days of the past, when powerful eastbound and westbound steam trains roared past. If you listen to the wind just right, you can almost hear their whistles. Travel by train was the main means of transportation in America until the 1950s, when planes and automobiles took over. May 10th, 1869 is an important date in the history of our country. On that day, two rail lines, the Union Pacific from the west and the Central Pacific from the east, joined at Promontory Point in Utah. For the first time, our country was connected by rails. Today, Laramie and Cheyenne are still busy rail centers. On most days, over 100 freights rumble through.
Let's go round up some sheep.
That's Bridger Reardon. Bridger is 7 years old and lives with his mom and dad at the base of Sheep Mountain, about 25 miles west of Laramie. Bridger is helping his dad round up about 60 sheep. The sheep will be taken to the corral, where they will be vaccinated and branded.
He seems a natural for it. He was just born to get on that horse and loves to move the cows, loves to move the sheep, and he loves animals. He also sees the cycle of life, which other children don't get to see. He has seen and helped the lambs be born and helped calves be born, but also we've had animals die. At a young age, he's already very aware of the entire circle, and I think that's really important.
Sheep Mountain is home to many different kinds of wildlife. You can find elk, deer, antelope, eagles, hawks, even mountain lions and bears. Bridger and his dad keep pretty busy around the ranch.
They need to move cows. Bridger's out there moving the cows with Dad, and they vaccinate the lambs as they're born and put a paint brand on them, a number brand, and feeds the chickens and gets the eggs from the chickens, and he has a dog that he feeds and helps Dad with the tractor when Dad's working with the tractor, and if Dad's outside, Bridger's outside.
Bridger takes good care of his pony Mabel. When it's time to work, Mabel works hard. When it's time to play, Mabel puts up with Bridger trying out new tricks.
He knows how to pick up her hooves and clean her hooves out and brushes her, and he's getting pretty good with putting the saddle on and the bridle, and he's treated her so well, and they have a very close relationship, I'd say. Mabel has always just taken care of him, and in turn, he's taken care of her.
I like riding her a lot. She's a real good pony. I pet her, I love her, and I ride her. If you don't ride your horse, she'll go back to being wild. Won't be a good rider. That's why I ride her a lot.
Riding along with Bridger and his dad are Callie, riding Gus, and Asher, who is riding Joe Starr. Also helping is Ranger, a border collie, and a donkey named Sammy. Sammy's job is to guard the sheep. Sammy is not afraid of anything. Not coyotes, mountain lions, and certainly not strangers in a white Suburban with a girl on the roof shooting a video. Branding Day is a big event at the Raritan Ranch. All the neighbors drop by to help. Everyone brings something to eat, and when the branding and fun are over, there will be a big dinner with lots of talk about the events of the day. Just for fun, the kids try to grab the sheep's hind hoofs. The sheep try to avoid being grabbed. They call it sheep wrestling. The sheep usually win. Bridger also goes in for what they call mutton busting. We're at a rodeo in Laramie. The idea is to stay on the sheep for as long as you can. That's Bridger. He had the longest ride of the day. Bridger was named after the legendary Jim Bridger. Jim lived in the Old West and was a trapper, Wyoming mountain man, and expert scout who mapped a path through the mountains for the Union Pacific Railroad.
Come on, let's go.
In the late 1800s, it was considered unladylike for a girl to ride a horse like the cowboys did, which was the easiest and most sensible way to ride a horse. One leg on each side and the horse in the middle. This was called riding astride. But girls were supposed to look elegant and demure, and only ride side saddle. Sometimes, girls even had to ride wearing heavy, hot velvet dresses. Fortunately, in the early part of the 20th century, all this changed and girls could ride just like the boys, maybe even better. Today, girls barrel race, ride in rodeos, and help with roundups. If a cowgirl can saddle her own horse, she can ride with anyone. Wyoming was the first state to give women the right to vote. Montana sent the first woman to Congress. And the first woman justice of the Supreme Court came from Arizona.
Oh-de-lee-lay, oh-de-lee-lo, oh-de-lee-lady. There was a time in history when girls weren't allowed to ride the same way that the cowboys did, called astride. Then girls won the battle over the side saddle. Oh-de-lee-lay, oh-de-lee-lo, oh-de-lee-lady. Now cowgirls can rope and ride just like the cowboys do. Why, they can do most anything like rodeo and shoot, like Calamity Jane, Cavalcade, Annie Oakley. Oh-de-lee-lay, oh-de-lee-lo, oh-de-lee-lady. Cowgirls can rope and ride just like the cowboys do. They can do most anything like rodeo and shoot, like Calamity Jane, Cavalcade, Annie Oakley. Oh-de-lee-lay, oh-de-lee-lo, oh-de-lee-lady. Oh-de-lee-lay, oh-de-lee-lo, oh-de-lee-lady.
Trick riders trace their roots to the Romans, who raced standing up, and to the Russian Cossacks, who used stunts such as hanging off the side of the horse as part of their military strategy. Trick riding in America began as a rodeo event in the early 1900s. Cowboys and cowgirls pushed their strength, equipment, and horses to the limit in an effort to outdo one another in terms of difficulty, speed, and danger. Today's trick riders focus more on poise, grace, balance, and style than on dangerous stunts, although many of these tricks are still dangerous. Trick riding demands a steady, trustworthy horse with a good disposition. The trick rider's horse must accept the rider moving all around its body without reacting in any way. Often, the horse's instinct is to stop when it feels its rider moving about. The trick rider's horse must be trained to stifle this instinct and to ignore the rider's movement. The horse must run fast and true without spooking or swerving. To become a trick rider takes lots of practice, courage, and a good relationship with your horse. It also helps if you're a little nuts. Our trick riders today are Melissa Pfaff, John Lewis, Giles Weeder, and Michelle Herman.
You learn to trust your horse. You have to trust your horse with your life. Oftentimes you're strapped onto the horse and you just have to trust that they're going to run the pattern. And then if you have problems, that they know that you have a problem and they take care of you. My horse is my best friend.
I've been trick riding for now going on 20 years or so. At this point in my life, I basically teach children how to trick ride it. And it takes a lot of love with your horse and trust to accrue that type of bond to do what we do. The relationship with the horse comes as the child and horse develop as a team together in riding, and they develop that trust and that love and that bond. Kids have to work on, with the horses, the pattern that we ride, and the kids have to have the trust in their horses to learn the tricks that we do.
To be a rock star, it's good to know how to play the guitar. To be a cowboy, it's good to know how to toss a rope. And you can't start learning too early. The idea is to twirl a flat loop around your head, then let go at just the right time and angle, so the rope falls around the target. That's Roper Scoville. Way to go, Roper.
There you go.
We're at Big Creek Ranch. It's summer, branding time. The cowboys round up all the calves, bring them into the corral, then use ropes to catch them and drag them over to be branded. Today is special. The cowboys have set aside some calves so the kids can improve their roping skills and help with the branding. Landon, Kai, and the other kids are practicing heel catches. That's where you throw a rope around the calf's hind legs. When you throw a rope over the calf's head, it's called a head catch. Branding is important because it establishes ownership. Each ranch has a different brand, so the brand tells which ranch the animal belongs to. Ropes are also called lariats, lassos, strings, or riatas. Some are stiff and some are soft. Ropers going for headers prefer a soft rope so it doesn't bounce off the steer's head. Ropers who aim for the heels want stiffer ropes so their ropes will stand up when they set their trap. The calves don't seem too happy about all this. It's sort of like us going to the dentist. Cowboys started showing off how good they were with the rope, and eventually trick roping became part of the Wild West shows. In the early 1900s, Will Rogers combined comedy and trick roping in his stage show. This is Max Reynolds. Max has entertained people all over the world with his rope tricks.
This is my horse Jazz, and we're spinning a big loop around me and the horse. That takes quite a bit of strength, and if that horse stands still, it makes it that much easier. This rope is 65 feet in length. Now we're going into a smaller loop, and what you see now is I'm doing the butterfly. It's called a butterfly, I guess the way it floats through the air, and I spin it around one way and around the other. Then I'll pop it up on my arm and spin it around my arm, and then it'll build and build till it just encircles my body itself. Then I'll pop the rope off and bring it around the front of the horse and behind me and spin it there to the side of the horse. And then I'll kick it back into that little butterfly loop again that you saw first off. And now I'm going to stand up in the saddle, keep the loop going, and do a few more tricks, take it around my back, both directions. Roll it over my arm. Then I'm going to pop it into a flat loop here beside me. And then I'll pop that flat loop up and over the top, and then off again, bring it down to the side. And now I'm going to jump into the loop while I'm standing on the horse. So this is where you want the horse to stand very still while you're doing this. And once I've jumped through the loop, popped it off, then that's about it for that part of the trick rope.
Come on, you lazy varmints. Grazing time's over. Time to do some work around here. Gotta get some chores done. Chore time, yep. Grazing time's over. Chore time, yep.
Well, time to go. Until we meet again, happy trails. See all new Western adventures and All About Cowboys Part 2. More exciting rodeo action. See a fast draw expert. Learn how to ride a horse. Go on a cattle drive, plus new songs by Bethany Zill, and a lot more.
And the sky is white and blue, where cattle graze on the prairie range and a cowboy sings a tune, where meadowlarks call and doogies bawl. There's a place out west where I love best. It's where the cowboy calls his home.
Don't miss it.
Give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day.
Come back and see us real soon.
As I was out walking one morning for pleasure, I spied a young cowpuncher riding along.
Now available, a new music CD by Bethany Zill, featuring music from the All About Cowboys video series and other songs of the Old West.
Whoopee-tie-yi-yo, get along, little doggies. It's your misfortune and none of my own. Whoopee-tie-yi-yo, get along, little doggies. You know that Wyoming will be your new home.
It's a magical train that only appears on cold winter nights, one day of the year. It helps Santa Claus deliver the toys to all of the girls and all of the boys. It's a magical Christmas train. It's a magical Christmas train. It's a magical Christmas train, and it's headed to you right now. As it travels through the ice and the wind and the cold, it carries the dreams of the young and the old. It stops at your front door on Christmas Eve, but only appears to those who believe. It's a magical Christmas train. It's a magical Christmas train. It's a magical Christmas train, and it's headed to you right now.
Visit our I Love Toy Trains outlet store. We have a fine selection of Lionel trains and accessories, both new and refurbished Lionel from the 50s. MTH trains, track and accessories. One of the largest selection of Thomas in Southwest Michigan. Plus die-cast cars, toys, books, and lots of videos. See 4 trains operating on our 2-level O-gauge layout. A Thomas layout on the porch. Even trains running on the ceiling. We have toys you don't see much anymore. Wind-up race cars, wooden blocks, Donald Duck on a string, ring toss, and a Jack-in-the-Box. All the popular I Love Toy Trains and Thomas videos. Our store is located in the charming resort town of New Buffalo, Michigan. Stop by. You'll enjoy the visit. We're open Thursday through Sunday, 11 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. Other weekdays, call 1-800-892-2822.